Hey there, Parkridge kids, welcome to STEWY'S music lesson of the week. Yeah. Hey there everyone, and welcome to what should be the final STEWY'S music lesson of the week forever, because next week we're back at school and I'm pretty sure we're all excited about that. So let's get straight on with our lesson. We need to talk Christmas. I know it's October, which seems pretty early, but we need to start learning our Christmas carols. Our Parkridge Christmas Carols concert is going to be different this year. We obviously can't have hundreds of people come to the school and do a live performance due to the whole COVID-19 situation. So what we're going to do is film, pre-record our concert, make it into almost like a concert movie, and release it on Compass. So on the 17th of November, we're going to do the audio recordings. I'm going to pick 20 of kids from each year level who I think are the best singers, have a nice voice and have learnt their lyrics. So if you want to be on those audios recording, I'd love it if you could learn the songs as best as you can. And then the week after the 17th, we'll do the video recording. And as usual, you'll be learning moves to accompany your songs too. And then we'll edit it up, and by early December we'll have our Christmas Carols concert ready for release. So I better let you know about the songs that you're going to be doing. So this is my 5-6 video. So let's just talk about the year 5-6 Christmas carols. So year 5, fairly easy. We're going to do the Australian 12 Days of Christmas and a song, Run Rudolph Run, which I'm pretty sure you've done in the past, or year 5s have done that in the past. So all the lyrics are included in a lesson pack, and I've included an audio file in Google Classroom. Year 6, same deal. The lyrics are going to be in the pack, and the audio files included on Google Classroom. But because you're such a big year level, year 6, we're going to split the grades. So we'll probably have 2 grades doing 2 songs, and the other 3 grades doing a different 2 songs. So the 4 songs that we'll have to choose from are Snow Globe Wonderland, one we've done in the past, Candy Cane Lane, Winter Wonderland, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Quite a contemporary version of that. So have a listen to the audio files and print off the lyrics and try your best to get familiar with the songs. The more you listen to them, the more you sing through them, particularly if you can print off the lyrics and read them out, the more your brains are going to almost be programmed into memorizing the song. So come the 17th, if you're doing the audio recording, or the week after that, for the video recording, you're not going to be able to have the words in front of you. You'll know the tune, and it's going to be a fantastic performance. Probably be a good idea to go over some of the videos that I've made in Term 3 to get your singing up to scratch. Get the best out of your voice that you can. Just little things like taking a few breaths, warming up, a few scales. All those things are going to improve your singing. So happy listening to those Christmas carols. That's it for part 1. We'll get straight into this stuff in more detail next week. So every week we're going to be rehearsing and practicing our songs. Let's go on to part 2, which really I can just tell you about right now. Part 2, just keep doing Star Wars and Note Names for Kids. So this is part 1 and part 2 in this section of the video. Let's go on to part 3, where we're going to continue our drum kit study. So let's get started revising the parts of the drum kit. We've got our hi-hat, we've got our snare drum, we've got tom. I've got 1 tom. Some drum kits like the school one have 2 toms. This would be a high tom. You can also have a low tom. We've got a floor tom over here. I'll lift this one up. And I've got a ride cymbal over here, which really should have a crash here. However, it's a kid's drum kit, this one. The one at school, as you know, has the crash which sits here and the ride sits here. So I'm using a crash cymbal as a ride for this. Just wanted to get, oh, and don't forget obviously our kick drum, which is hard to see the way I've got the video positioned, or the camera positioned, is our big bass kick drum, the one that uses a foot pedal. If you look at past videos, I give you hints on how to use the pedal properly. You don't lift your foot off the pedal. We'll be using this acoustic kit at school, not this one, but the school's acoustic kit and the electronic kit when we get back, to try and see if we can play a standard rock beat. But let's go over some basic drum notation. We did it last term, but we better revise because you've had 2 weeks off. And then the drum exercise, show you how to do the drum beat, and that's our lesson for this week. So let's check out the theory side of things. Okay, so remember with the drum notation, we had a look at this in previous 2 lessons. Just like on the staff, you've got the notes in different spaces and lines, but if you're playing the snare, it's in the 3rd space. If you're playing a kick drum, it's on, or bass drum rather, it's on the bottom or in the bottom space. And we can take our pick, doesn't matter whether you want to do ride cymbal, which just sits on top of that top line, or hi-hat, which is what I would go with. It's more common to use the hi-hat on crisscross right through on the top line there. So that's the drum notation. And this week's exercise, or the one for this lesson, we added in TTs last week. We're going to add in ticker tickers. They're known as 16th notes. Now remember, you don't need a drum kit, so you can just be doing this on a desk, on a container, whatever works for you. Yeah. So let's take a closer look at the sheet music. Okay, so taking a closer look at our drill and practice exercise, similar to the previous ones, but we've added in our ticker tickers. These are 16th notes. Kick drums going along the bottom. The top line is your snare, or whatever container you're using. And quite simply, you just be going ticker, ticker, ta, 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 ticker, ticker, ta, ta, ta. Keeps going the same. When you're playing here, you've memorized it hopefully, and you should be looking at this while you're finishing off that, giving you a smooth transition. Just different variations there. So let's see if I can do a quick exercise, or maybe just tap on my desk perhaps, and just tap my foot on the ground there. Let's give it a go. Alright, so sheet music's here on the music stand in front of me. Tapping my foot. Remember, if you can't tap your foot and play the snare part at the same time, don't worry, just do the snare part. And try to, remember, alternate your hands too. So here goes. Ticka, ticka, ta, 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 ticka, ticka, ta, 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 ticka, ticka, ta, 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 ticka, ticka, ta, next line, ta, ticka, ticka, ta, 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 ticka, ticka, ta, 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 ticka, ticka, ta, 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 ticka, ticka, next line, ta, ta, ticka, ticka, ta, 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 ticka, ticka, ta, 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 ticka, ticka, ta, 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 and so on and so forth. It does help to say it when you play it. It just makes it easier, I think. Okay, that's it for the drill and practice exercise. Let's have a real quick look, and I'll go straight onto it rather than changing camera angles here. I'll take a close-up look at basic drum beat. This is when you're putting 3 things together. There, yep, look, right foot's gonna be playing the kick drum, bass drum, same thing. Our left hand is going to be playing the snare drum on the 3rd space, and that is actually a ride cymbal, but we're going to use, you can use either hi-hat, which is just on the line, or ride cymbal. Now the reason why you use your left on the snare is because when you are playing for your right hand, it crosses over your left to play the hi-hat mainly, and your left would be hitting under there. Doesn't really matter when you're playing the ride cymbal stretched out, but get used to using your left for this positioning. Hopefully you've got your little homemade drum kit set up. Let's take a close look to finish up on the little toy drum kit over there. Just before we go to that toy kit though, I nearly forgot to have just a bit of a zoom in on these variation beats. That's the one I was talking about just before. These ones, each bar is a beat in itself, and with that repeat sign there, it just means play that over and over like a loop. Notice the only difference with this one is the kicks on every beat of the bar, and you just go round and round, kick, 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 snare, kick, snare. TTs, hi-hats for the same, whether it's ride cymbal or hi-hat. Here the kick is just changing to a TT on the first beat. So TT, ta, kick, kick, snare, kick, snare. This one changes the TT from there into the third beat of the bar. Again, this is a beat in itself, just one bar that gets repeated over and over. Kick, snare, kick, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, kick, snare. Hi-hat, ride the same. This one's doing double 2 TTs. So kick, kick, snare, kick, kick, snare, kick, kick, snare. So have a go if you can, some of those. Let's take a closer look on the actual drum kit. So, as you know, with our basic drum beat, we're reading our sheet music. The kick drum right foot is in the bottom space, and our snare drum being played by the left hand is in the third space, and our right hand is it's on the top line if you're playing the ride cymbal, or above the top line I should say, and actually sitting right on the line if you choose to do hi-hat. This is all from the last video I did in week 10 of term 3. So if you put those together, 1, 2, 3, that's the kick, then add in the snare, and then add in your ride, or hi-hat, same thing, doesn't matter whether you choose hi-hat or ride cymbal. There's your first standard rock beat. Now, you guys, obviously, not many of you would have your own drum kit, as we've discussed, so you could just set your own up, however you're going to have it. Just need some sort of pot or pan or something for your snare, or a container, something for a hi-hat, and you can just tap your foot on the ground, and that's going to get you, when you come to a real drum kit, it's going to give you the skills to be able to play one of these beats. Now, you will notice in the packer, or the variations which we had a closer look at earlier, let's try the first one. Really, it's very, very similar, and I'll pop the sheet music there, hopefully it stays. It's just got a kick on every beat now, and the other two are the same. Awesome. So the only difference in that first variation is a kick on every beat. Now the next one adds, a little bit tricky, but you should be able to do this. It's got a TT on the kick at the start, so I was going to go TT. Well, actually, I'll try that again. TT, rest, ta, rest, TT, that's better. And then the rest are the same. That's it. So they're all just subtle variations on changing a TT or changing a ta. I'll try one more, maybe the third one, which I find is a pretty easy beat to do. Very similar to the first two beats, except the TT's now on the third beat. So it would be ta, rest, TT, and the rest would be the same. What do you want? I don't expect you to be able to do all of these, even if you could just try to do the first one and this big one here. And remember, even if you can't do all three, try to just do 2 things. Whatever works for you is going to get you improving rhythms and maybe even becoming a drummer. So that is it for Stewy's music lesson of the week. Hopefully, as I said, the last one ever. I'll see you guys back at school. Can't wait, yeah? That wasn't a good drum solo to sign out. See you at school. Hope you enjoy your lesson as Stewy's music lesson of the week. That's right.